Everyone, I'm Nadine and welcome to Bookish Nook. As February comes to a close, so does my reading month. And when it came to the end of this month, I was kind of disappointed in myself because I didn't think I read that many books. But upon revision of my month for this video, I found out I read 6 books, 2 graphic novels, and 1 novella. The first book that I read this month was Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I definitely liked it more than The Darkest Minds. I did a full review on it, so I will link that down below. The second book that I read this month was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I absolutely adored every second of this book. It's so fantastic and awesome, and you can identify with it on every single level of this book. Absolutely amazing. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who loves to read, who loves Harry Potter or a series that's similar, because you will see yourself coming through these pages and it's absolutely amazing. The third book that I read this month is One Tiny Lie by K.A. Tucker. This is the second book to 10 Tiny Breasts by K.A. Tucker. It's not really a continuation of the story because this is from her sister's perspective. It's about her sister going off to school and a lie sort of piles up and becomes something else. And it's amazing. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars again. This is definitely better than the first one by a long shot. So if you don't really like the first one, I urge you to continue on with this one because it's a million times better. You could just see the writer's writing style getting better and her character development getting better all throughout this book. It was amazing. The fourth book that I read this month is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. Now, I wasn't expecting to really enjoy this book as much as I did. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because at the beginning I hated Elder's perspective. I couldn't stand him and his character. All I wanted to read was Amy's perspective. But as the plot develops and you start learning some things that have been hidden from Elder and all the people on the ship, it is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to continue the series because it's not really a cliffhanger, but you're left thinking, what are they going to do? Like, what's going to happen? How are they going to fix this? Are they ever going to make it to this planet? I am so excited to read the second book. The fifth book that I read is a graphic novel, and that is The Walking Dead Volume 11. And so far, this is the best volume of the series that I've read so far. I haven't read past this one, but this one was amazing. And I can't wait to continue the series, and I'm really trying to pace myself because there's only, I think, 19 volumes out. I'm getting close to that, and I don't want to sit around and wait for the next volume. The sixth book that I read is Shatter Me by Shatter Me. Now, I was not expecting to enjoy the series so much as I did. There was a few things that I did not like about this book, and that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The writing style, it really took me a while to get used to, but I did appreciate it because it gives you a better depth into Juliet's character and you understand her a lot better. There were a few choice words that the author used that I think she could have used simpler words. As I think it's George Orwell said that the simpler the words, the better, and I completely agree. Overall, this book was fantastic, and it really leaves you yearning for more. I'm really excited to learn more about this this society. I know a lot of people say that this is more of a character-oriented book, and I do agree, but I am excited to read more about the society. So far, I am definitely Team Adam. There is nothing redeeming about Warner in this book at all, so I'm sort of skeptical on how people can be Team Warner because he is an absolute horrible person in this book. The only novella that I read this month was Destroy Me by Shatter Me, and as much as I understand people's opinion changing about Warner in this novella, mine didn't completely 100% change. I'm gonna need more than just a novella for him to change. But I see him as a broken character, and he's just as broken, if not more, than Juliet. So I can see if they do have a relationship in the future, how they can identify with each other on that level. It was fabulously written. You can't even tell that the same author wrote these two, the book Shatter Me and the novella Destroy Me, because the writing style is just the exact opposite, and I really appreciated that. because I was expecting the writing style to sort of, both of them to sort of bleed together, and you kind of can't really tell, but I loved how normal it is compared to Shatter Me, and how the vocabulary is different because Warner has a bigger vocabulary, hence because he has more education. You can just, his personality just bleeds through those pages, and I loved it for that. The sixth book that I read this month was Be With Me by Jennifer Armentrout, writing as Jalen. Now this is the second book to Wait For You, which they are not following the same story. This is Cam's sister Teresa and his best friend Jace. I adored this book so much. When I first started it and got into the beginning of it, I thought it was just going to be that forbidden love story where, you know, they have to deal with the issues surrounding his little sister and best friend dating. But it turned into so much more than that, and the story just took like a dive into where it's super deep and serious and awesome. Jennifer Armentrout is such an amazing author, and that's why she's one of my favorites. She tackles these tough subjects with ease, precision, and clarity. She is such a fantastic writer, and it's so down to earth and laid back, despite the toughness and realness of these topics. Jace is such a swoon-worthy and sexy character. A lot more so than Cam, I found, which I really enjoyed. He's got his own quirks, just like Cam does, and he has a lot more tough subjects to deal with than Cam does. So it gives Jace an added layer of depth, and it is fantastic. You see the character's progression. Teresa has sort of a one view, kind of like blinders on for her future, whereas Jace sort of has the same, but he's a lot more open. And there are a few quotes in here from Jace that are absolutely inspirational. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, loved every second of it. And the last graphic novel that I read this month was Dexter Down Under by Jeff Lindsay and illustrated by Dalibor Talajic. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I talked about this in my January wrap-up and February to be read video, and I described it as the continuation of the TV show. After reading this very small comic, and like I said with Alex and Ada, I was disappointed at how small it was, but what do you expect when you buy something that's 30 pages? I don't see how this is a continuation of the TV show. Hopefully in issue number 2, maybe that'll be clarified, but I'm a little confused as to why this was dubbed the continuation of the TV show. However, I enjoyed every second of it, and it read sort of like the TV show with Dexter narrating throughout, and his quirkiness. I really enjoyed Dexter as a character, so this was fantastic to be able to get into his head in comic book form. Now on to my March to be read. My list isn't that very long because I don't want to give myself more than I can actually chew, because this month, February, was so jam-packed with school, and I'm surprised I actually got as much reading as I did, because it took me a while to get through a few of the books, longer than I'm used to, so that was a little discouraging. So I'm going to keep it short this month. The first book on my TBR, which will not be read first, is Divergent by Veronica Roth. Of course I'm going to reread this because the movie comes out this month, so I'm going to reread it a week before to give me enough time to thoroughly enjoy the book and maybe tap a few scenes that I really hope are in the movie. I'm super excited for this movie, and I can't wait to reread this because I haven't read this in a few years, I think. So I'm pretty excited. The second book that I want to read is a graphic novel, and that is Dexter by Jeff Lindsay, and once again illustrated by Dalibor Talajic. This is a bind-up of all the older Dexter comics that they had. I think there was 5 or 6 issues. These comics take place in the universe of the novels as opposed to the TV show. I'm hoping that it reads like the Dexter Down Under that I already read, because I'm enjoying that. So the third book that I plan to read this month is Unravel by Tahira Mafi. I ordered this book in paperback by accident and I thought it was hardcover, so now it's going to mismatch my first one even more because of the cover change, and now it's a paperback instead of a hardcover. I was devastated when I reviewed my order and it was too late to cancel and it was paperback. So I'm gonna have to deal with that, but I plan on reading that as soon as it comes in. The fourth book I plan to read is Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, which is the novella between the second and third book. I have no idea what it's about, and I'm not about to spoil myself or you guys if you haven't read it, but I do plan on reading that right after Unravel Me. The fifth book that I plan on reading this month is Take a Chance by Abby Glines, which is part of the Rosemary Beach series as well as its own series because it's getting a sequel. This story follows Grant and Nan's father's daughter. I can't remember her name. They're sort of teased in Forever Too Far by Abby Glines, which is Blair and Rush's story, and she seemed like a very interesting character and resembled me a lot because she loved to read and was sort of introverted, so I'm excited to see where that goes. It's gotten fantastic reviews so far, so I'm pretty excited. And the last book that I plan to read is Intertwined with You by Sylvia Day. I read the first two a while ago. I can't even remember. I'm gonna have to refresh myself on what happens in the second one. But I really just want to finish off this series. It's been okay so far. I liked it a lot better than 50 Shades. It's written a lot better, and it's not as weird, I guess you could say. I'm sorry if you enjoyed 50 Shades. I did enjoy it as well, but I think I like this a little bit better because it's not as intense. Apparently there's a fourth book coming out, so I want to finish this and see whether or not I liked it and if I'm going to continue on with the novels that she's adding. But I really just want to get this series finished. So those are all the books that I read in February and I plan on reading in March. If you've read any of them or want to, comment down below and let me know what you think. I hope everyone had an awesome reading month. I know that I did, so I hope you did too. And I hope everyone, just like myself, has a good March reading month. I know that a lot of people have spring break coming up, and I technically already had mine, which I didn't get any reading done, so I hope you guys do too. Bye!